Hi everyone, and welcome to our Let's Play of Gabriel Knight, Sins of the Fathers. This is a real treat. I'm glad we're getting to do this because this was one of those games that absolutely made me, decide, oh, I want to be a game developer. I totally want to make these kinds of games, and yeah, it didn't pan out, but that's okay, because this kind of game really doesn't exist anymore, as we'll find out while playing it. There's a lot of weirdness here, but it's fun, and it's also very, very, very problematic. This is a game, it's a horror game. It has this music, but it is a horror game. It is about voodoo, it's about New Orleans. It is in that oeuvre. And so there's some problems, and we'll talk about them as we go along and how the game tries to avoid them and the traps it falls into. But I think hopefully we'll also have a lot of fun. So we should probably start by watching the intro. And so here we go. Oh, we've got these bonfires. There's this man, this pilgrim-looking motherfucker. He's sad, and this bitch is unhappy, and so she's gonna turn into a leopard or a cheetah, some kind of big cat, and jump out. Oh, we got a talisman, and the talisman has blood on it now. And then we're on Bourbon Street, and a snake is wrapping around this man's neck. And oh, Bourbon Street, rare books. This is what happens if you read too many rare books. And then this guy. And then, hey, it's that straight Bourbon Street, day one. I dreamt of blood upon the shore, of eyes that spoke of sin. The lake was smooth and deep and black, as was her scented skin. Well then, so we get some white guy poetry about a sexy black woman.
I bet. Just a minute. It lives, I see. Do you want to speak with Lolita? I'm sorry, but Gabriel is a lout. Oh, I mean, he's out. Yeah, if he ever comes back, I'll tell him. You know, you could do better. I know I don't know you, but you could do better. Good morning. The phone's been ringing off the hook all morning. Let me know when you want your messages.
Yeah.
Gee, you're lively. Did you have another nightmare last night?
Sort of.
I told you it's that voodoo book you're researching. That stuff can seriously screw up your karma.
I'm sure that's it. Maybe I should write a horror novel on passive resistance instead.
So don't sleep. It's your body. Anyway, your handheld tape recorder came today.
Really? Great.
I can't wait to see what human rights you violate with this one.
I can't wait to violate them. For example, if you would just let me...
And I located some local voodoo references for you. Dixieland Drugstore and the Historical Museum of Voodoo. Both are right here in French Quarter.
How would I ever manage without you?
You? Give me a break. The devil himself couldn't change you.
Well, if the devil had great legs, perhaps, like yours.
And a riveting personality, I'm sure. Well, if you need any more research done, just ask. It's not as though we're swamped with customers.
Okay, so first things first is I have to radically turn this shit down because it is very, very loud. This music is something else. It's extremely, like, it gets very elaborate for the kind of game this is, and really for a game in general. That's like just like we had that whole big, very over orchestrated run here instead of like this part like makes sense. This works for the kind of game this is, but then it just gets wacky. So we've learned a lot in just a very short amount of time. That was like, a very dense block of dialogue. We learn a whole lot about Gabriel Knight, who is a lech and a perv and, a shitty person. We learn about Grace, who is Leah Remini. I'm not joking. Grace Nakamura is voiced by Leah Remini. This was in a time before games were like, oh no, we need to make sure that the Asian characters are given to an Asian voice actor. JK, that doesn't even happen today. So not a whole lot has changed since 1993, 1994, thereabouts. This game was made in the early 90s. Gabriel Knight is actually voiced by none other than Tim Curry, hamming it up in the most ridiculous Nolans boy accent you will hear in a video game. Yeah. So Gabriel Knight is writing a book about voodoo, specifically the voodoo murders that seem to be happening. And
today's newspaper is on the counter.
And that's happening. And that is actually someone very famous. That's right. The voice of the narrator is an actress named Virginia Capers, who I imagine many of you will know because she is Grandma Banks from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Yep. She's also an incredibly famous stage actress in her own right, and she did a lot of television too, but that is probably where most of our viewing audience is going to know her from. And so she is our narrator for this experience, doing a very, very arch Caribbean accent. We can hide the icons. We can leave the icons on. I want to leave the icons on now so that we can see the verbs this game is giving us. So we have a walk, we have look at, which is this little Mardi Gras mask, or opera mask on and then we have question, and then we have exclamation. So I think this is really ask and say. We have pick up, we have open, we have move or push, and then we have kind of use, or operate, which is illustrated by these two gears. Why we have these weird blinky snake and lion motifs, which I'm sure we'll find out about later. We also have a tape recorder with these are our tapes, our blank tapes. And then we have an inventory.
Gabriel is carrying nothing.
Gabriel is carrying nothing. That is so loud. If I turn text down, does that?
Gabriel is carrying nothing.
Nope, she's just real loud. Okay, well, we're going to have to figure that out in post. But so let's see. Yeah, okay. We're going to keep playing. So we've got a tape recorder. We've got an inventory. We don't currently have anything. So let's get something. Let's pick up something. Like, what's this? This is like a magnifying glass?
The magnifying glass is a handy item for reading old manuscripts or the fine print on Gabriel's lease.
Okay, so let's take that magnifying glass. We're going to need that, I'm sure.
Mind if I borrow the magnifying glass?
No, Sherlock. Just bring it back when we get the next estate shipment.
No problem.
And then it looks like there's something next to it. What could that be?
There's a pair of tweezers on the counter. Grace uses them for book repair work.
I'm gonna take the tweezers for a bit.
Good. You're beginning to look a little scruffy.
Just trying to make you feel at home.
Okay, so we got those. Let's just take a look at this newspaper, see what's going on in the newspaper.
Times-Picayune, dated June 18, 1993. The front page has an article about the voodoo murders. The article says that the victims are all identified as members of the underworld. The general public of New Orleans is in no danger. Police claim the so-called voodoo trappings found at the crime scenes are fake, a scare tactic, and that the murders are not associated with any genuine practitioners. Gabriel also scans the Aquarius horoscope for the day. Potential storms ahead. Proceed with caution, and do not get involved with anything new at this time.
Right.
Okay, so we found out a little bit about more of the voodoo murders being investigated. We also get this game's first kind of, push towards, Jane Jensen is kind of noteworthy for doing large amounts of research and including kind of bibliographies of the research that she has done for the games that she makes. And this one was no different. She did a lot of reading, a lot of anthropological reading, especially about the origins of voodoo and voodoo as a religion and Obeah and all those kinds of things. And the history of New Orleans and the history of, the transatlantic slave trade and all these things that, so it's a little bit better. We get the strong push that hey, this is, ritual murder is not a thing that voodoo is about. It's a little bit, but it also doesn't really save the game from being the game that's literally the white guy investigating the voodoo murders in New Orleans. There's no way around that. Like I said, this is a problematic fave. It is not without problem. Particularly, like Gabriel's treatment
Don't
of
mind
women.
if I do.
Like if
Do
we,
what?
Oh, nothing.
like we can just creep on Grace, but let's see if we say something to Grace.
There's no one in that part of the shop to talk to.
So that was a very specific. I just barely missed Grace, and it said no, you can't do that.
So, what's new, Grace?
Your use of mathematics, for one thing. These books are unbelievable.
What can I say? I refuse to be bound by rules.
The strap marks on your bedpost speak otherwise.
Well then, so we learned that Gabriel's bookkeeping is something questionable, and we also learned that he likes to be tied up to the bed. So that's something. What is this?
3 snakes in a skull. Gabriel's father painted it.
What a wacky, offbeat kind of guy Daddy was.
Yeah, the Tim Curry voice is so distracting.
Grace keeps her art supplies here.
Okay, so those are art supplies. What's this?
The book rack contains cookbooks, true crime, and puzzle books. An inspired combination. The books on the desk all need repair work. The top shelf contains books on animals, including snakes and other reptiles. That shelf contains historical references, biographies of kings and queens, that sort of thing. That shelf, the ladder provides access to the uppermost shelves of the bookcase. That shelf holds used copies of the Dime Stripe series, secrets of unsolved ancient UFO mysteries and such.
So
They just leap out the door.
this is a joke. It's actually kind of a funny, damning sort of joke. There was a book series that Time Life was putting out at the time that was kind of like, you know, secrets of the pyramids, ancient UFOs, and you'd get like it came in each volumes, and I, as a young child, like desperately wanted my parents to get them for me, because I was like, get me the fucking Time Life paranormal books, and they didn't, because, and they, you know, they were probably correct, but they were like, no, we're not fucking getting you the weird Time Life, ancient aliens, mysteries of like Stonehenge, the fate of Atlantis, like books, like no. And each book in the series, there were like several of them, and each one was like ancient monuments that were like, you know, supposed to be supernatural, like Stonehenge and the Nazca lines and things like that. And it was just really, really bad ancient alien shit, basically. You know, it was what the TLC and the History Channel would end up turning into before TLC decided to go completely reality television, but that's not here or there. But yeah, I really wanted them. At the same time, there was a show, Sightings, that was on, I think it was on Fox, actually, that was like basically the same fucking thing, but it was a TV show designed to be a kind of a fake news program, and a fake investigative news program. And I watched the shit out of Sightings. No joke. It was a good show, y'all. But I really wanted those books, and I never got them. But one day, I had broken my foot, and I wasn't able to do PE for a long time because it had to heal. And so my gym teacher was like, just go to the library and read books. That's exercise your brain, Lucina. And so I went to go exercise my brain, and I discovered in the very back of our bookstore, of our library, they had the entire collection of the Time Life, like ancient mysteries books, and I was so thrilled, and I read them all. So that's that story. And then I read the entire Dune series, which really wasn't worth it. It was way better reading the ancient UFO books.
Under the window are reference books, dictionaries, foreign language dictionaries, quotation books, and others. Gabriel borrows them often when he's writing.
I wonder if we could pick up any books. Oh, yeah, okay. Gabriel's going to walk over there. Is he going to pick up a book?
Gabriel leafs through a German-English dictionary.
Let's see, Mittag means midday, noon.
Okay.
Gabriel leafs through a German-English dictionary.
Spiel means game. Interesting.
Why is he only picking up the German-English dictionary?
Gabriel leafs through a German-English dictionary.
Himmel means heaven. Dry means 3.
Okay, yeah.
Gabriel
Possessin means possessed. That's handy to know. Drachen means dragons. I wonder if Mosley would know he was being insulted if I called him Drachenbread.
That was very specific. What else is going on here?
Let's...
Okay, yeah, so now we're back at the beginning, so that's...
Gabriel cannot.
My kidney's already floating, thanks.
What does that even mean? Why are your kidneys floating?
Gabriel finds those popular authors very mediocre. As though they would care. It's certainly light enough. The desk is too heavy to be moved.
So this is also kind of a move command, which is interesting. What if we operate?
Wish. Gabriel doesn't...
We're going to open?
Gabriel doesn't even want to know what Grace keeps in those drawers.
Why is... It's a weird statement, but okay.
Gabriel opens the cash register to examine the take. Or, in the case of St. George Books, the mistake.
What's going on here? What we got?
The cash register contains about $20 in small bills.
Oh,
and change.
that's sad.
It's a gift certificate left over from yet another dismal failure of a promotion.
Let's take that.
I trust you can live without this old gift certificate.
Knock yourself out.
Grace doesn't ask, why are you taking a gift certificate from forever ago? But that's okay. We don't need to question that anymore. But hey, we got some points. Yay for points. I feel like points are very irrelevant, but they're a holdover from like just old Sierra games. They all had point systems. It's a handy way of letting you know, like, if you've missed something, you get to the end of the game and you're like, well, why did I only get 298 out of 342 points? Well, clearly you missed something. Go play it again. This has largely been replaced now by, of course, achievements. So, you know, points or achievements, I wonder... I feel like achievements are a form of evil, but... I know people who really like achievements. I know people who probably like the points thing. I'm sure there are die-hard adventure gamers who really believed in the point system. I wasn't one of them. I didn't really care. I was mostly here for the lovingly painted backgrounds and the story and characters. Sometimes the puzzles, but a lot of times the puzzles were just not good. So let's talk to Grace. We haven't actually talked to Grace, and we've got some stuff
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
So this is the interface for talking in Gabriel Knight, and we get our two characters in conversation here, and they get these really great hand-painted portraits that are animated disturbingly. You'll see their mouths move in a second when we actually get to talking. And we get this list of discussion topics. So we kind of have these general ones, these blue ones up at the top: voodoo murders, New Orleans. And then we have like the more specific ones to the character. So we can ask Grace about herself, we can ask Grace about messages that she's got for us, and we can ask about requesting she do some research for us. So that is an interesting thing. Let's see what happens if we ask Grace about research.
Could you do some research for me?
Sure. What?
Gabriel doesn't have anything right now. We have not discovered anything because this is a mystery game, and so we're going to get clues, and those clues we're then going to have to follow the threads and see where they lead us. And one of the ways we follow threads is by asking Grace to do some research. But right now we don't got nothing about nothing, so we don't have anything to do. But I hope you saw the mouths move because there's something else.
I can't think of anything.
Okay.
It's just not good. So let's talk to Grace about
What
voodoo.
can you tell me about voodoo?
I didn't know much of anything about it until you started researching it for your book. Now I know that it's active in the city. There's that shop and museum. It can clearly be dangerous in the wrong hands. You should be careful investigating it.
And that kind of dimmed now that we've exhausted Grace about voodoo.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Just what I read in the paper, same as you.
Okay, so well, that one didn't turn.
Well, I've only been here 2 months, but I love it. It's so much more alive than any place I've been. It feels like anything's possible here.
Okay, so that's it for New Orleans and the voodoo. And now we can ask Grace about herself.
Tell me about yourself, Grace.
Yeah, right, Knight.
I mean it.
What do you want to know?
Oh, we got a whole lot we can ask Grace about herself. So that's a thing. Let's see what we got here.
How come we haven't gone out yet?
I'm still waiting around for that lobotomy. As soon as I get it, I'll let you know.
Oh, what's going on here? Okay.
What do you do after work?
Well, I either go to my oil painting class or my Tai Chi. You know that.
You know, you can go overboard with this improving yourself stuff. You don't want to alienate us mere mortals.
I suppose I should just allow my mind and body to atrophy.
Works for me.
You know, it's very weird that Gabriel Knight is supposed to be this sexy dude when he looks like this. Like, only 1993 could give us this and say, that's what sexy looks like. And not like he looks kind of like a drowned rat. Okay.
How do you like working at St. George's Books?
Well, it's not exactly a huge intellectual challenge. Although the math in your record books could confuse Einstein. Still, I love old books, and it's a nice way to pay the bills while I explore the city for a summer. If you ever pay me, that is.
Well, look, we clearly do not have any amount of money.
How old are you?
Old enough to know about men like you.
Just tell me anything at all.
I just got my master's in history and classics. My folks wanted me to go on right away for my PhD, but 18 years of school was enough. I needed a break.
Just tell me anything at all.
I came to New Orleans because I'd read so much about it, and I thought, spending a few months here would clear my head.
So what's going on with this? So the Just Tell Me All thing is kind of neat because it's a way for them to just like, throw in little bits of, character dialogue. It's not exactly like, the most elegant solution,
Just
but
tell me anything at
it's
all.
a solution.
I've always wanted to do something really adventurous, Something real life. I'm sick of libraries and lecture halls.
Okay.
Just tell me.
My folks are traditional Japanese. I don't even remember Japan myself. I was 3 when we came to the States.
Just tell me anything at all.
I've been studying Tai Chi for 10 years. It's a very spiritual discipline. I'm sure discipline of any sort isn't something that would appeal to you, Gabriel.
Oh, now we know that Gabriel's a fan of bondage and discipline.
Just tell me.
My folks want me to get married to a boy back east. Mark Kobayashi. His parents are traditional Japanese too. I might eventually, but right now...
Just tell.
My folks want...
Okay, so we're
Nothing.
done
Suit
there.
yourself.
We're still doing this. This is a very bizarre, weird glitch that we're having here. So let's ask about the
Do you
messages.
have messages for me?
Dana called, and Susie left a message about a lawsuit.
Toss 'em.
Okie dokie. There's more when you want 'em.
I want my messages,
Do you
Grace.
have more messages for me?
Your grandmother called.
I keep meaning to get over there. What did she say? Did she sound good?
She sounded great, and we had a nice little chat about you.
Grace.
Don't worry. I didn't go into detail about your cardinal sins. Not that anything about you could surprise her. She adores you anyway.
She's my girl.
But she said to remind you to stop by and go through your father's things.
Okay.
Ooh, so that sound is a clue. We got points. We did something correct. We discovered, we deepened our understanding of the world of Gabriel Knight. And it said we need to go see Grandma and go through our dad's stuff because he's dead. Though interestingly enough, we'll find out. I don't think he's actually dead like recently. I think he's been dead a really long time. Grandma's just like, no, seriously, it's been like 40 years. You got to come through your dad's stuff. I don't actually remember when his dad died, but it's like he's very young, I think, was the deal.
Do you have more messages for me?
Here's a strange one. You got a call from someone named Wolfgang Ritter. He said he was calling from Germany. He told me it was urgent. Maybe you should give him a call.
Call Germany. Like hell. If it's really important, he'll call back.
Besides, we'd have to use
Well,
that German to
fine.
English dictionary.
Let's just hope he's not with the German lottery for pitiful American authors.
What else
Do you
we
have
got?
more messages for me?
Your friend Detective Mosley called. Talkative, isn't he?
Especially with you. What do you want?
He left an interesting message. He told me to tell you that his mother's maiden name is Humphrey. Oh, that's Humphrey.
Fascinating.
And that he left some photos for you at the station, at the front desk.
It's about time.
Gabriel, those photos wouldn't have anything to do with the voodoo murders, would they?
Now, why would you say something like that?
Because I know you. You're getting privileged information, aren't you? Did you tell him you'd put him in your new voodoo book?
A writer has certain obligation to his readers, you know.
Gabriel, you know you'll never put him in your book. Your main character is a female orthodontist. You're gonna be reincarnated as a pit bull if you keep screwing with your karma.
As long as it's a male pit bull with a really big...
That's enough. Thanks. Anyway, that's all the messages. Thank God.
Okay, so we talked to Grace. We got our messages. We learned a lot about Gabriel's relationships with other people. Apparently, he has a friend who's a cop, and that's something. But you know, like whatever. But
There's no one in that part of the shop to talk to.
yeah. So first things first. We've done a lot here. Let's save just because DOSBox is actually a little bit unstable, and we'll just call this day 1. Sure. There we go. And it's not as just a very efficient save state system there. You know, nothing fancy. No screenshots, nothing like that. Okay, this is Gabriel Knight's room. How interesting. Oh,
The
yeah.
desk phone is cheap, but functional.
Got a phone.
The typewriter is beginning to accumulate cobwebs.
Oh, Gabriel
Should I
Knight.
feel guilty? Nah.
I like the way the narrator comments on Gabriel Knight's existence.
The wastebasket overflows with crumpled pages of mediocre glory. It's Gabriel's bed, unmade as usual. The dresser holds a meager supply of underwear and 38 pairs of mismatched socks.
That's a lot of socks. 38 pairs of socks.
There's a flashlight on the dresser. This building's wiring leaves a lot to be desired. A poster on the wall advertises Mardi Gras, the biggest party of the year in New Orleans. Jeans and t-shirts. Jeans and... Gabriel's bedroom is also his office, studio, and library. A little cold bubbly and brie cheese is about all Gabriel's fridge ever has in it. Bills from last Christmas gather dust on the door. Several dozen books, including a few of Gabriel's novels, occupy the shelves above his desk.
It's funny because in my head, I always have Gabriel as having, like, struggling to write his first book, but in this now, I guess he actually has several books already published, which got something.
Several dozen books.
Okay, so what else is in here?
The medicine cabinet contains a few old prescriptions, personal hygiene stuff, and lots of hair products, including some hair gel.
Hair gel. We're gonna need some
I'll
hair
take this
gel.
hair gel. You never know when you'll need a touch-up.
And I think that's it. Can we open the fridge? What happens if we open the fridge?
Gabriel, shut the refrigerator, please. I could smell it from here.
Women.
Okay, so that's Gabriel's bedroom. And I guess we're done here actually. So let's just save again just so we can be safe. There we go. And now we're done. We're done with this room. Off we go. To where?
I'm going out.
Good luck.
Okay, so this is the map interface, and this is how we get around in this game. We can, go to the police station, Napoleon House. There's Jackson Square. There's an overlook for Jackson Square. There's the St. Louis Cathedral in Jackson Square. There's the Historical Voodoo Museum, and then the Dixieland Drugstore, which Grace told us about. And then there's back to St. George's Bookshop. But this is to the New Orleans map. And so there's the French Quarter, and outside the French Quarter lives Gabriel Knight's grandmother. So let's start there. Let's start with Grandma. And we get this weird little bit of full motion video right there, with the weird background. But I'm pretty sure that was not. That's just like an animated GIF of someone getting on a motorcycle.
Sorry it's been a while, Grandma.
Not at all. Give us a kiss. Now come and sit down.
Who does the voice
Tell
of
me how you
Gabriel
doing.
Knight's grandmother? I wonder if it's anybody. Probably isn't. I'll look it up at some point. So, we are in Gran's house now, and
Mostly pictures of Gabriel, his dad, and Harrison Knight.
Gabriel, his dad, and Harrison Knight. So I guess Harrison Knight must be his
The
grandfather.
wood in the bin is sudden pine, and is probably fossilized by now.
Grandma's not making fire in the fireplace.
Granny has a way with plants and kids. Granny's knitting. She whips through that stuff like there was no tomorrow. On the wall are portraits of Gran and Gramps when they were young. Gabriel's inherited some good-looking genes.
It's interesting that the narrator in this game not only has like a layer of commentary in the text, but also in the performance, which is kind of, it's not usual for games like this with the narrator, even if the narrator has a voice, which they frequently don't. But to have the narrator kind of, very pointedly inflecting and commenting on what is being described is kind of neat.
Granny likes soft lighting. Fresh carnations. Granny's favorite. Mostly pictures.
Okay. So let's just talk to...
Can we talk, Gran?
Of course, my boy. How can I help?
So we could ask her about voodoo, but we should talk to her about
Tell me about our family.
the family.
Who would you like to hear about? Your granddad, your father, or your mother?
Oh, so let's see. We haven't actually heard anything about Gabriel's mother yet.
Tell me about my mother.
Your mother was Margaret Templeton when your father met her. She came from a very wealthy Creole family in New Orleans. She was beautiful and reckless. She was madly in love with your father, of course, but I also think she liked defying her family.
Tell me about my mother.
Your mother's family refused to give her money after the marriage. All she had left was a modest trust fund from her great-aunt, who happened to like Philip. The remainder of your mother's trust fund became yours when she died. That's what you used to open your bookshop.
It's a really kludgy way of handling that bit of exposition, but sure. So I guess Gabriel Knight's mom was, largely disowned by her family, but she had an aunt give her a trust fund that Gabriel Knight used to open his bookstore, and I wonder how much of that is left, and also, if he bought the bookstore outright, because it says we had the magnifying glass. The narrator gave us a comment about Gabriel's lease, but you'd think with like a large trust fund you'd just buy the building outright. But see, anything
Tell me
else
about my mother.
The Templetons are all gone now. Every last one of them. They never wanted anything to do with us, of course. What a waste.
Tell me about...
I don't know what else to tell you, dear.
Okay, so it doesn't really show that we've exhausted the conversation, but we know Granny will tell us when she's done talking about it. So that's good. I guess Philip Knight must be Gabriel Knight's
Tell me
father.
about my father.
Your father was my only child. How we adored him. Philip suffered from terrible nightmares, just like your granddad did. They were 2 peas in a pod.
So we get that Philip Knight and Harrison Knight both had nightmares like Gabriel Knight is having. How interesting.
Tell me about my father.
When Philip met your mother, it was love at first sight. They were married 2 weeks later. Never looked at a girl seriously until then. And he looked at plenty. You have your father's way with women, Gabriel. And your granddad's.
So all the Knight men were leches.
Tell me about my father.
I wanted to just lay down and die when he and your mother were killed in
yeah,
that car crash
so-
when you were only 8. It was the thought of taking care of you that kept me going, Gabriel. The police say your father swerved off the road after being frightened by something. Perhaps a deer in the road or a wild cat.
Oh, a wild cat, you don't say. So Gabriel Knight's dad and mom both died in a car accident that may have been caused by a wild cat. You know, we've been having these nightmares about a woman who turns into a wild cat. But that's interesting.
Tell me something about Granddad.
Your granddad immigrated to America when he was 21. He worked his way through school, met and married me, and we had your father, Philip. Since you're so interested
Oh.
in family history these days, why don't you go by St. Louis Cemetery No. 1 and visit the family tomb? It would be a sweet gesture.
Maybe I will.
Okay, so we know about the family tomb at St. Louis Cemetery No. 1. That's that sure is something, all right.
Tell me something about Granddad.
Your granddad supported me and your father with bookkeeping. I'll tell you what, though, he hated every minute of it. Didn't really like bookkeeping one bit. Maybe that was why he had the worst luck with jobs. The nights he'd come home afraid to tell me he'd lost another. And I would tell him. It didn't matter to me. But he felt ashamed, Gabriel.
Okay, so
Tell me something about Granddad.
Harrison was only 36 when he died. Your father was 8 years old at the time. Your granddad was hit by a streetcar in the business district. Took me nearly a year to believe he was really gone.
I'm sorry, Gran.
I know you are, dear.
so there seems to be a Knight curse where both the grandfather died when Philip was 8 and Philip died when Gabriel was 8, and both of them involved vehicular deaths. So that's weird. Spooky. Let's see. Is there
Tell me
anything else
something.
about Granddad?
Did you know that your granddad
Oh.
was a poet? He was! He wrote the most beautiful poetry for me when we were courting. I always thought he should have done something with that gift. But he was such a practical man. Didn't believe in chasing after dreams.
You know, the interesting thing about this game is it's so chatty. There is so much voice dialogue in this game that, like, you know, even by like 1990 standards, like this must have cost a fortune to do all this recording, because, like, if we talk to Granddad about voodoo and the voodoo murders in New Orleans, I'm sure she's got dialogue
Can you
about
tell
it.
me?
New Orleans is
Yeah,
very
look at it. She's got a
southern.
mouthful of
course,
dialogue.
though, not as much as it used to be when I was a girl. It's gotten much more influenced by the East Coast and that California stuff. Still, it hasn't changed as much as other places, I reckon. We've always been happy here.
So yeah, there's a lot of dialogue in this game. Let's just talk
Tell
to-
me about yourself.
Me? Oh, surely you have something more interesting to talk about.
Oh, come on, Gran.
All right, dear. What do you want to hear?
Wow, we got all this to talk to her about. There's so much dialogue in this game. It's impressive.
What do you do all day?
You know how I love to knit and work in my garden. I also take long walks. It's the only way to keep an old body like mine from stiffening up.
You're not old.
Oh, don't be foolish. I'm older than the hills.
Tell me how you met Granddaddy.
I met Harrison at a church revival. There was a traveling preacher back then.
Oh no, not Reverend
Big
Jim.
fella named Reverend Jim. I even remember his slogan, "Come to me to find your way." Your granddad was sitting right behind me and my girlfriend Alma, and at one point, old Reverend Jim was flinging his hair around with his fire and brimstone antics, and a piece of it, one of those small add-on do's for man, went flying off. I swear, Harrison and I were the only ones that noticed. We both started laughing to beat the band. Everyone looked at us like we were a couple of loonies. It was then I knew that he was for me.
Well then, what a lovely story.
Tell me about the fall you met Granddaddy.
Well, you know I was born Rebecca Wright. My daddy owned a lot of land outside town. We grew peas, corn, cotton, all kinds of things.
Even people.
It was a good childhood, but my father was very strict. He didn't much let me out of his sight.
You know Gabriel Knight's their family owned slaves. There's no way around this one. She's very exuberant about all of the plantation land that they owned. So, well, that's something, all right.
How you feeling these days?
Fit as a fiddle, and don't you worry your head about it.
I'm feeling old and racist, Gabriel.
Just tell me anything at all.
I had your father when I was 22. The doctors told me I couldn't have any more after him, so I'm afraid I spoiled him rotten.
Okay.
Just tell me anything at all.
I never loved any man but your grandfather, and I never will.
Just tell me anything at all.
I hate to admit it, but I was a jealous little thing when your granddad and I were younger. I loved him so ferociously, and he did attract the eyes of the ladies, whether he wanted to or not.
I wonder if these are pulled randomly from the list, or if they're in sequence, because they kind of end up really feeling funny, with the way they align. And
just tell me.
I get lonely sometimes, but I have lots of girlfriends in the neighborhood. I call one of them if I'm feeling blue.
Okay.
Just tell.
I wish you'd settle down and give me a great-grandchild.
Oh, Gran. Just.
I had your father when I was.
Okay. So I don't.
Oh no.
All right. I think we're done here. We can compliment Gran.
No, you get prettier every time I see you.
Oh, you.
Okay. So there we go. Now, I guess we came here to go rummage through our dad's stuff, our dead dad's stuff.
I'm going to go up to the attic.
So we'll go up to the attic and rummage
Be
around through our
careful of
dead
the
dad's
dust.
stuff. So, okay, so it must be this chest of drawers, but let's look around the attic.
Grandma's attic is a storehouse of forgotten treasures and useless junk. There's a sketchbook on the chair that Gabriel vaguely remembers as his father's.
Okay, so that's something of note.
That box of knickknacks has been up there for at least 5 years. The old trunk looked like it's gone to hell and back. Grandma's an elaborate mechanical clock, probably of German origin, is among the discarded treasures of the attic.
Ooh.
It doesn't seem to be running at the moment.
So there's a lot of emphasis on that clock, and its German origins. We've been really hammering home the German ancestry here. So the German connection with Gabriel Knight is strong. We got that. You'd almost wonder, like, oh, your family's from Germany, and you got a phone call from some weird dude who said it's urgent. He's from Germany. He said you call him back, and just not. Like I know in the 90s, even long distance phone calling was expensive, and international calling was basically out of the question. But come on, you'd think oh, there's a connection here. I should probably do something. Let's take this book.
I think I'd take Daddy's sketchbook with me.
Yeah, take Daddy's sketchbook with you. All right. Let's see. Okay, and so here we can, I guess, read, open, or look at. So let's look at this
The
stuff.
$20 gift certificate for St. George's looks pitifully new and unused.
Okay.
The jar contains frou-frou hair gel.
Frou-frou hair gel.
Gabriel looks fondly at his father's sketchbook and charcoal pencil.
Okay, so let's try reading it. Oh, hey there. What do we got here? So we've got some demon and these concentric circles, and then these circles that are this Venn diagram. And we get 3 more snakes, and then a large cat surrounded by fire, and this amulet from our dream, and then a lion. And
Images haunt the pages of Philip Knight's sketchbook, the way they must have haunted his mind. The images touch a deep chord in Gabriel. So familiar are they that he finds it hard to believe they aren't from his own subconscious.
oh, I just noticed this little Venn diagram thing is up here too, by the big cat. But then we also have this fucking weird demon. So who knows what's going on here? Gabriel Knight, your dad was a weird dude. Let's.
Gabriel doesn't want to take the clock.
Okay, fine. Let's get this.
Gabriel doesn't.
Let's open this chest.
The lid is blocked by the clock.
Okay, yeah, that's why I want to move it. Push the clock. There we go. Move the clock. Okay, so the clock is over here. Let's open this first. Then we'll deal with the clock. What is?
I don't think there's anything in that trunk that would interest anybody but my gran.
Well, why don't you look around in it?
The trunk contains some old clothes, including a pair of leather shorts.
Aren't those called lederhosen?
Serious hiking boots.
Okay, so we've got this chest full of junk that we don't want to apparently deal with. So can we do
The
it?
trunk doesn't.
Okay, fine.
That box, an elaborate mechanical clock. Probably it doesn't.
Okay, so let's run the clock. Maybe. Oh, so what's we got here?
Gabriel can't operate.
Okay. So I guess we gotta twist that.
Nothing happens.
Nothing happens. Okay. So we've got this outer wheel.
A ring of 6 symbols surround the face of the clock. A sword, a sun, an angel, a noose, an eclipse, and a dragon.
Okay, so we got a weird clock. This is a weird clock puzzle. Oh, if we push it, we can rotate it this way. How interesting. So I think we can do that.
The
and
face.
oh, we can move this hand too. Look at
The
that.
face of the face.
It's midnight dragon.
Nothing happens.
Nothing happens. Okay. Well, we ooh.
Nothing happens.
Do. We do it 8 and 8 knife.
Nothing
Okay.
happens.
Or no, that's not 8. That's still 12. Oh, look at that. Woo. 5 to 3. Ooh. What do we do at 3?
Nothing happened.
Okay, so we have to figure out what's going on with that clock.
It's an old
You know, wait a minute.
It doesn't seem.
Hold on. Hold on. 'Cause I think we're onto something here. I think, if I remember correctly, that we are absolutely onto something here. All right. So there's heaven and 3.
Nothing
Oh,
happened.
okay. Maybe the angel might be heaven 3 because
the ring of symbol.
the words that
The
were
ri-
in the German to English dictionary this game harped on were game, dragon, heaven, and midday. So, and 3. So let's see. Let's try midday and an angel.
Nothing happened.
Okay. We try midday.
Why move that?
Midday dragons.
Nothing happened.
Okay. So what if we do?
That.
That's right. I gotta push. Push. Let's try 3 o'clock and 3 o'clock dragons. Okay. 3 and dragon.
Granddaddy, you old
3
fox.
dragons, motherfuckers. Okay. Here we go. See, they give you the answers. They give you the answers to these things. This at least we got. We at least bothered to check that bookshelf before we came to the puzzle. You know, you could just sit here all day just puzzling this out, just manually
the photo,
doing.
probably at least 50 years old, shows 2 young men standing with an older man outside the castle.
I wonder who they are.
A polycule. Let's take this photograph. Oh, and there's something else under here. What's under here? Let's take a look at it.
It's an old letter on fancy paper.
Fancy paper. Let's take the fancy paper letter. Okay. Okay.
Gabriel, that
Okay, so we're done here. Yay, we solved our first riddle. And now let's go downstairs. Let's go take a look at this photograph first, actually. And then we'll say, hey, Grandma, why does Granddad have a weird-ass clock? Let's take a look at this photograph. Oh, look at them.
the old photograph showed Gabriel's grandfather with 2 other men that Gabriel has not identified.
Says Granddad's lost weekend in Germany. Yeah? Yeah. Let's read this letter.
The letter is addressed to Heinz Ritter.
Heinz Ritter.
Whoever.
Let's find out who Heinz Ritter is. What does he have to
The
say?
letter is written in German, but Gabriel determines what he can about it. It was sent from a place called Schloss Ritter in Rittersberg, West Germany. The letter is addressed to mein Sohn Heinz and signed Wilhelm Ritter. One of the recurring words strewn throughout the letter is the word Schattenjäger. The only thing that Gabriel can decipher about the letter is a sense of urgency in the handwriting and in the heavy use of quill-tipped bold strokes and underlining.
Oh, so it's an urgent letter between Ritters, between father and son. So father and son is a big thing in this game. I wonder which one is Gabriel Knight's dad. I don't know. Let's talk to Gran about it. Can we show her the photograph? Let's see. What does Granny think if we put this photograph in? See, Gran, talk about this
That's
photograph.
it. Take a load off, hon.
Does this mean anything to you, Gran?
That one in the middle is your grandfather.
Okay.
Those other 2, I don't know.
Interesting. So, one in the middle is Gabe's grandfather.
Does this mean anything to you, Gran?
No, dear. I'm afraid I don't speak a word of German.
But we need to find someone who does speak German to translate it for us. Okay, now let's talk to Gran, see if she knows anything about.
Can we talk, Gran?
Of course, my boy. How can I help?
Oh, stud. So we can talk to Grandma about Schottenjäger now, and Heinz Ritter. So let's.
Have you ever heard of a Schottenjäger?
Schottenjäger? Schottenjäger? How odd, Gabriel. I haven't heard that word in years.
But she has heard it.
Goodness, you've given me a chill. Your granddad used to say that sometimes in his sleep.
Really? Do you know what it means?
No, I'm afraid not. I asked him about it once. I don't think he answered me. Odd.
Thanks, Gran.
Okay, so Granny's heard that word, but she doesn't know exactly what it means. And that's okay, because we can ask her about Heinz Ritter.
Do you know anyone
Oh,
named
hey.
Heinz Ritter?
Heinz Ritter. Oh, Gabriel, where did you hear that name?
I found a letter in Granddaddy's clock.
I promised I'd never tell you or your father. But I suppose it doesn't matter now.
Tell me, Gran.
Your granddad's name was Heinz Ritter before he came to America.
Well then.
He changed it to Harrison Knight legally when he arrived.
So Granddad used to be Heinz
Why
Ritter.
did Granddad change his name?
I don't know. I tried to ask him about his family, his life before America, but he didn't want to talk about it. He never even told me about his name change. I found out one day when I saw his passport in a drawer. Since he obviously found it painful, I never questioned him about it. But I'm sure it wasn't trouble with the law. Your granddad was the best man I ever knew.
Didn't Granddad ever say anything about his past or his family?
Only that his family was crazy, and that he never wanted to see them again. He believed in some family curse.
Well
Thought
then.
that he could spare Philip and Philip's children from what he called old nightmares. Whatever Harrison wanted to spare you, though, it cost him plenty. He never did sleep well, and he would often get a far-away, guilty look in his eyes. He was wrestling with something he thought he should be doing, someplace he thought he ought to be. I don't know how he could think that he should be anywhere but with me and our child. It's a terrible way to live.
And those are the sins of the fathers.
Do you know anything?
I've told you all I know about your granddad's past.
Okay. So then I guess we're done here. So we're gonna say goodbye to Gran, and we're gonna peace out. And
Well, Gran, I better get going.
All right, dear.
let's see. Let's go to the French Quarter, and where should we go from here? Why don't we head on over to the police station? Okay, so here we are in the cop station. Let's talk to this cop. Get these photographs.
Got a second, officer?
What can I do you for?
I'm here to see Detective Mosley.
He's out at a crime scene. Sorry.
Oh, he's out at a crime scene.
Where is the crime scene? Is it related to the voodoo murders?
He's not gonna tell you, bruh.
Crime scene information is police confidential. We don't need any more looky-loos than are probably already there.
Okay, fine. Okay, show you.
Come on, you can tell me what the crime scene is.
Look, I know the paper's got everybody stirred up about these killings, but that don't make it public information. Back off.
So this is a new voodoo murder then?
Hey, I didn't say that. You'll read all about it in the papers tomorrow, I'm sure.
Okay, so let's see
I was supposed to pick up some photos.
what he's got
from
for
Detective
us.
Mosley at the front desk.
Is that right? And who are you?
My name is Knight. Gabriel Knight.
Yeah, I got something for you, all right? Soon as you're done talking, I'll give it to you.
It's suddenly become incredibly sinister. Let's just...
Here's that envelope for you, Gabriel Knight.
Damn.
Thanks.
Cop getting all weird on us. Let's take a look at what we got. What do we get in this envelope? We gotta open this.
Gabriel opens the manila envelope and finds 2 photographs.
Ooh, what do we find? It's this one. Oh, so we got a dude who's been...
One of the photos from Mosley is an official voodoo murders crime scene shot. A graphic close-up of a victim.
He looks like he's had his heart like ripped out, and he's surrounded by some weird markings, and he doesn't look very happy about it. So that's interesting. And then what is this?
The photograph
Of
of
course.
Mosley was apparently taken upon his graduation from the police academy. He had hair then.
Okay, I like that she laughed during the reading of that line. That's good. Okay, so
Talking to
let's just I guess we're done here. I don't think we can go back here, can we?
No one goes back there until I say so, mister.
Okay,
Sorry.
fine. Be that way, buddy. Yeah, there's a little snake on that. Snakes are everywhere. So let's see, where to now? We could go to Circle View, go to Dixon. Let's go to Jackson Square. Let's see what's happening in Jackson Square. Oh, there's a cop here. Talk to this cop. What's he got?
Could I ask you a few questions?
Not now, buddy. I'm busy.
Oh, he's
I should
busy.
have noticed that. Thanks.
Yeah, right.
Oh, that's interesting.
Gabriel likes his own cycle much better. Besides, even Mosley couldn't get him out of that one.
Good day, officer.
Yeah, you too. Keep moving.
Okay, so there's some kind of radio on the cop car that's like squawking.
Mind if I
What are you, nuts? Forget it.
Oh,
touch you?
okay, so the cop... We need to get the cop away from his bicycle, his motorcycle. Because, like, stuff is happening on there that we could probably use it to find
The
out.
other park visitors are enjoying.
Okay, fine, do that way. Other park visitors, since he's not,
Coroner request assistance.
yeah, so clearly, oh, there's this little jazz band over there. What's going on over here? There's another band, and this woman just keeps walking around in a circle. And there's a mime. Look at this mime being an asshole.
Why, you nasty thing, you. I'll call the police, I will.
Okay, so I know what we have to do here. Come on, follow me, buddy. Yeah, that's right. Follow me. We're not doing anything interesting that he can imitate. It's tragic. All right, so we're gonna drag this motherfucker. Come on, this way, buddy. Come with me. Come down here. Come down here. Come down here. Come make fun of this cop. Come make fun of this cop. Do it.
Hey, cut that out. I told you to stop that. All right, mister. You want some of this?
He wants some of that. Okay, now we're gonna use this guy's motorcycle radio.
Gabriel picks up the headset
Ha-ha.
and listens.
Ambulance 911, have you located the crime scene? They've radioed for you 3 times.
Damn! Did you say it was north of the Lake Retreat Country Club?
South. Lakeside Drive north of Piedmont Pier, south of the country club.
Man, I don't know if it's the clouds out here today or what. Good thing this guy's already dead.
Everyone's having trouble. Must have been hallucinogens in the coffee this morning.
It's just so misty out here or something. Hey, I see a squad car. Got it, Molly.
Thank God. Have a good one, 911.
Interesting.
Stupid mime. Hey, you! Get away from that bike.
Sorry.
Okay, so now we know the murder is. We can go investigate that murder ourselves. We can show up. But first, let's sit some time in the city. That's like north of Lake Pontchartrain or whatever. It's kind of far away. Let's see what's in the. I guess we'll go to the Dixieland Drugstore. That sounds like fun. Gabe's getting on his little motorcycle. Shows up here. Oh, what a fun place.
Hi.
Uh-huh.
And
It's a mannequin wearing a crocodile mask. The glass jars contain a number of things Gabriel can't identify.
And wouldn't want to.
In this case are super concentrated fixing oils and packages of pins.
Lodestone powder. 5-finger grass. Something tells me I'm not in Kansas
no,
anymore.
you're in Louisiana.
Herbal oils for love, luck, power, and success. Herbal root bags, curio boxes, and magic candles, sold as curios only. We cannot guarantee results. The signs say,
Oh.
Special Saint John E. Lanyapé, free bottle of lover come back to me oil, or master gambling oil, with every purchase over $50.
Lagniappe. My French is lousy, but everyone in New Orleans knows what that means. A little something extra.
Does everyone in New Orleans know what that means? Okay, let's talk to this guy. What's his deal?
Hi there. Is this your store?
This is a Dixieland Drugstore, and I own it, me. Name's Walker, Willie Walker.
And Willie Walker is actually voiced by Rocky Carroll, who is a famous actor, a TV actor that I know. He was on the TV show Rock right around the same time. I think that was like his big breakout role. I think he was like that was a show with Charles S. Dutton. He was a garbage collector, and like I think he was Rocky Carroll played his brother, something like that. But yeah, so that's the voice of Rocky Carroll. For those paying attention at home. What's going on?
A variety of cloth dolls are arranged above the shelves, each impaled with a single silver pin. The entire shelf is stocked with containers of High John the Conqueror root powder, voodoo and hoodoo, the craft as revealed by traditional practitioners by Jim Haskins. Available at Dixieland Drugstore and other fine stores.
What do you want to bet that was an actual book that Jane Jensen
The
condoled
Dixieland
did?
Drugstore is crammed from top to bottom with strange merchandise, some or all of which seems to be related to the practice of voodoo.
All right, let's talk to Willie Walker here.
Mind if I ask you a few questions?
Ask what you want, I'll answer what I want.
Okay, so what can we ask about? We can ask about St. John's Eve. That one's highlighted.
What's the significance of St. John's Eve?
It's the biggest night of the year in voodoo.
What goes on exactly?
I couldn't say.
Okay.
Tell me about yourself.
My name's Willie Walker. I own the place.
Tell me about you. How did you get into this kind of business?
Why should I discuss my business with you, man?
Good answer.
Tell me about yourself.
Why should I?
Okay, good answer.
Have you ever heard of a Schottenjäger?
Man, I don't even know what language that is.
I just see this weird, skinny, weird white dude in a black leather trench coat comes into your shop and starts asking you if you know about this weird German phrase. That's when you leave town. You know things have gone wrong in your life.
Tell me about.
That's right. He's not going to talk to us about that. Let's ask him about voodoo.
Can you tell me?
This is a novelty shop, monsieur.
It's a novelty shop.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Cabri's Sancour.
What did you say?
Nothing. Those killings have nothing to do with my shop, monsieur.
Aha, so Capri Sancour.
What did you mean when you said Cabri Sancour?
I didn't say that.
You did. I heard you say it.
You heard wrong, monsieur. I said no such thing.
I think he's lying. My French is rusty, but Sancour, that sounds like it means without heart. So, hey buddy, take a look at this.
Look at the voodoo paraphernalia around the body in the photograph. Are you sure you can't tell me anything about it?
No, I don't know anything about it. Nothing.
Oh, that got, that really escalated quickly.
Look at the...
No.
Okay, buddy. I feel like
Gabriel can...
Okay, fine. Okay, well, I guess that's all we're getting from him for now.
shop.
So let's peace out. Willie Walker doesn't want to talk right now. Willie Walker won't have to talk to us. So pop out to New Orleans and we can go to the crime scene. See what's happening at the crime scene. Oh,
The crime scene
that's a dead body.
is still at the site. Gabriel parks a bit out of the way and walks over to avoid adding to the general confusion.
Oh, so we got some lines on the ground, and we got this dead body. Oh, covering the body up. They're driving off. We just walked right over that crime scene.
Hey, Mosley.
Huh? Knight, you wiener. I told you not to call me that.
Feeling jumpy?
Who, me? Don't be stupid. How'd you find me?
Oh, I was just driving by.
Mm-hmm. Well, for the book. But don't tell anyone I let you see this, huh?
So, Mosley is actually voiced by none other than Mark Hamill.
It's another one. As you can see,
Luke
same
Skywalker
MO
himself.
And no frickin' clues. We're still waiting on an ID for the body.
That's disgusting. Isn't this a rather, public area for this kind of thing?
Yeah, they're frickin' ghosts, these guys. Lakeshore Drive isn't exactly the 10 expressway, but it is open to the public. No reports and nothing. Now, who the hell is that?
Oh, who the hell is that? It's a good question. Oh, we get a cutscene. Look at this fancy cutscene. Ooh, and we get...
Good day,
we get
Miss
this sexy
Getty.
black woman named
What's
Miss Getty.
going on, officer?
Detective Mosley, ma'am. We've got a little problem here, but nothing for you to be concerned about, Miss Getty.
I see. Thank you, Detective. And good day, gentlemen.
Oh.
Whoa, I'm in love.
Forget it. That's Malia Getty. She's about as far out of your reach as the moon. Probably on her way to meet some guy with a yacht right now.
Near here?
The lake's a popular place for country clubs.
If she's out here a lot, maybe she saw something or heard something.
Nah, nobody ever sees or hears nothing. I told you. Besides, you just don't go around bothering people like her.
We've about wrapped it up, sir. It's another clean sweep.
Yeah, let's get the meat wagon moving then.
Do you want to leave an officer here, sir?
Nah, just leave the tape up for a few days.
Yes, sir. If you'll excuse us, sir, we'll take him away.
Stick around and take notes for the book if you want. Watch out for the muck in the water moccasins, though. I'll be back at the station. Stop by if you want to go over the case.
Thanks.
Oh, okay, so we just zipped right through that dialogue. Thanks, DOSBox. It's a little choppy with the animation there. But okay, so now we're alone at a crime scene. Let's peek around.
Oh, damn the spot. Will these pristine banks ne'er be cleaned again?
What a very weird...
Out! Patches of grass have managed to survive life on the banks of Lake Pontchartrain. Gabriel is on the sand and clay shore of Lake Pontchartrain, at the site where some poor bastard got to see who the voodoo murderer really are. There seems to be a pattern to the lines in the sand, but if there is a pattern, it's smeared. There's only one small area that's clearly defined.
Interesting. So let's can we take a sketch of it?
Let me try to get
there we
this
go.
down.
So now we can use the sketchbook to take clues with us. Let's do something like over.
Patches of grass. The grass has a matted appearance there.
Let's see. Can we use the magnifying glass on it? There we go. We're gonna look closer and see why.
It's very large grass. Gabriel is already. It's
very large glass or grass. Okay, this looks like it's something. Let's pick that.
There doesn't seem to be any. There doesn't seem to be anything unusual there that would call for using tweezers. Gabriel does.
Interesting. So there's nothing there. If we use the magnifying glass over on the blood, we gotta use our detective skills.
Gib. It's extremely big, bloody sand.
Okay. So we got big bloody sand. Can we use
the
it?
lines in the sand. There's no.
So, oh, what's over here? Something. Okay, it's more bloody sand. Is it the same wherever we click?
It's extremely big sand.
Extremely big sand.
There's not.
I think we have to go over every little inch. What about over here? Do we go over every little inch over here?
It's very large grass. It's very large.
Hmm.
There are marks
Oh.
on the grass, as though some heavy wire object had been set there.
So that's very interesting that like we're pixel hunting. It's like very clearly aware that this game, like games of this nature, require pixel hunting, and it's actually used that trait in gamers of these types of adventure gamers, and to make it part of the magnifying glass puzzle. Look at that. Now we have a use for our tweezers.
Carefully uses the tweezers to take the small iridescent scale.
I think it's a snake scale, but it beats the hell out of me what kind.
And so there was a snake in a cage, it would seem. That's my guess. And then let's see, what else is going on? Are we done here?
Yes, but if
Okay,
that
we can't look at the patterns.
Lake Pontchartrain is impressive. It measures 24 miles across and stretches as far as the eye can see. But you wouldn't want to swim in it.
I guess not. All right. I think we're done here at this here crime scene. Let's go talk to Mosley. We can go back to the police station and see what's up with Mosley. Talk to this guy. See what he has to say.
Got a second, officer?
What can I do you for?
I'm here to see Detective Mosley.
He's in his office. Go on back.
Oh, guess about snakes.
Do you know anything about snakes?
What does this look like? A zoo? Never mind, don't answer.
Yes.
No, I don't know nothing about no snakes.
Okay, so he doesn't know nothing about no snakes. He's not afraid of them ghosts, so we're gonna go back and see what's going on in this police office. We're gonna go talk to Mosley. I guess Mosley is back in here. What Mosley has to say.
Hey.
Yeah, what is it, you wanker?
Mosley said wanker.
So, how's it hanging, bud?
Lousy. I hate crime scenes. People are sick fucks. You know that, Knight?
I'm starting to get that impression.
Lots of unsolved cases, perhaps? Mosley must have 1,000,000 of them. Mosley's desk has more groin on it than on his head. Mosley's desk... Mosley was one of those beefy guys in his youth. Now he's getting lumpy. The badge in his front coat pocket is set off particularly well by the gold polyester of his jacket.
Wow.
Police department memos and other didactic blurbs.
Okay, let's just talk to Mosley. Let's see what Mosley's got to
Can
say.
I ask you about some stuff?
You're the writer. Ask away.
Let's see. So now, oh, look at this. We can assault him. Look at Mosley. He's got a real punchable face. Okay, so we'll skip this for now. We'll go right to talking
What's
about the
status
case.
on the voodoo murders case?
It's going. Can't seem to make any progress, though. Sluggish damn case. It's weird.
How about getting me some coffee?
Coffee? You want coffee?
Should that surprise you?
Nah, you've always been a caffeine addict. It's just that what we got here hardly qualified.
So, I'm desperate.
It's your stomach. I'll get you some when we're done talking.
That long?
All right, I'll go now.
Oh, we asked him for. He's leaving. So what good does that do us?
Don't touch any.
Let's rifle through Mosley's desk.
There's no reason to...
Not me. Not me. Not me.
Move.
Oh, that wasn't very long. Mosley came back. I think there's a lot of puzzles here that involve like luring people away and then doing something while they're gone. All right, so that was interesting.
Can I ask you?
Photograph.
I got those photographs you left for me.
Really?
Astonishingly lifelike.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Got any more ideas for photos for the book?
A cop author photo might be nice.
You and me? Together?
Why not? Of course, you'll have to try to tone down your masculinity.
Well, okay. I'll call the police photographer.
We keep sending him out of the room for things. Can we go through his jacket? Like...
Franks, come here a minute, would you?
Oh, no,
Bring your camera.
What's the thing that's happening?
What did you need, Detective Mosley?
We need a picture, please. And make it a good one, huh, sweetheart?
Sure, sweetheart.
Say, chintzy.
Was there anything else, Knight?
Hold on a sec while I go check my hair.
Good God, Knight, make it fast.
Oh, so now we're here. We can look around. What's in? Is there anything?
It's an...
Is there anything in the inbox?
There's nothing. It looks a bit... Gabriel, there's no reason to do that with the file cabinet.
Okay.
There's nothing in the car. There is... Gabriel wouldn't want to mess with somebody else's desk.
Okay, fine. What about the thermostat? Oh.
The control box is in a locked cage and can't be operated.
But if we could get a key to the lock, maybe we have to do something. Okay. Let's see what's going on in here.
Would you just get in here? Hurry up, would you?
Okay, ready.
Thanks, hon. Let me know when you got it developed.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a way to get Mosley out of the room. We have a way to get out of the room without Mosley seeing us. And so clearly we
Can I
need
ask
to
you
use
about
these in
some stuff?
conjunction.
You're the writer. Ask away.
Okay.
Do you
Pattern.
know anything about the patterns around the bodies?
Yeah, weird, huh? All 7 victims had those little marks around. We got all the marks on file, but we haven't figured out what, if anything, they mean.
Well, what about the other
Can I
pattern?
see the other 6 patterns?
Sure. People like that kind of stuff, don't they? Might make the book seem more mysterious. Go talk to Officer Franks. Tell her I said you could see the file.
Okay. Insult
Have
him.
you ever called the hair club for men?
I'd rather have no hair than your hair, Knight.
Okay, so let's go take a look at the case file.
Unfortunate.
Let's go talk to Officer Franks, who now we know is this lady. Hey, Franks.
Can I ask you a few questions, ma'am?
I'm sorry, sir, but I really have to finish these reports.
Excuse me.
Yes?
Oh,
Can you get a file for me?
What file would that be?
The voodoo murders file? Detective Mosley said I could see it.
Really? Well, if he said so. There it is. You can look at it all you want, but don't leave this area with it, okay? And no photocopies either, I'm afraid.
oh.
Of course. I understand completely.
I see how it is, Franks. So we can take a look at it.
It's an inbox. There's not...
Do we have the file? Oh, we got the file here. Okay.
It's the The folder is marked with the one.
Okay. Ah, so we've got these patterns that we could.
The police file contains partial patterns from the first 6 voodoo murders.
Interesting. Okay, so we got our pattern too. Can we?
Those two are.
Okay, fine. Then let's go talk to Mosley.
Don't leave the room.
Okay, fine. I'll put it in your inbox.
I'm done.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, so I know what we gotta do now. We just zipped over there. Let's. Okay. So now let's talk.
Can I ask you about some stuff? I got those photographs you left for me.
Ask him about this photograph.
So you said.
Let's take another cop off the shot.
I don't think we got your best side.
Really? Okay. I'll have Franks come in again.
Solving puzzles. Solving puzzles and making cops look stupid. At least this game makes cops look stupid.
Franks, come back in here with that camera.
Stupid ass cops. Gonna get duped. Imagine getting like one pulled over on you by fucking Gabriel Knight of all people. Come on, Franks.
Now what?
Move those legs.
That clown wants another picture. You don't.
Of course not. What else could I possibly have to do?
Anything else, Knight?
And now we're gonna go check our
Hold
hair.
on a sec while I go check my hair.
God, Knight, make it fast.
No, I'm gonna make it slow. I'm gonna make it the length of time it takes me to get a manila envelope and make photocopies of it.
Let me see that file again. Just want to check this machine here.
Why is he looking around like he's actually gonna put his dick in it? Okay. I feel like we could just walk out of the room with that, but, you know, I guess it's nice of us to not do that. Where's our copies? Oh, there's our copy of it. Okay. So, I guess we're done here. We don't need to go talk to Mosley anymore, so let's just leave. Oh, we're just zipping around all of a sudden. Let's oh, whoa there. What is going on here with our DOS box? Is being all sorts of wacky. There we go. Save. Now it's better. Let's make a new save. Day 1, part 2. There. Okay. Good. We seem to have stopped the cursor from freaking out the way it was. Let's go talk to Grace.
Please select it.
I did select a location.
Hey, Grace. Here I am.
Oh boy, party time.
So I'm guessing the game doesn't like it if we spend too long playing it. This is DOSBox doing its DOSBoxy thing. Let's just save this again just to be safe. Okay, cool. Let's talk to Grace. Maybe these are messages. Maybe we can talk to her about some things.
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
Maybe she can research Schottenjäger for us.
Have you ever heard of a Schottenjäger?
No. Is that a voodoo word?
Does it sound like a
I
voodoo
don't
word,
think so.
Grace?
It's German.
No, but it has a nice ring, doesn't it? Schottenjäger.
Okay.
Do you know what Cabri Saint-Gall means?
No. Sounds French, though.
No shit, Grace.
What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
St. John's Eve? Never heard of it. It must be a local custom. New Orleans love any excuse to celebrate.
Could you do some research for me?
Find out
Sure,
about these
what?
things for us. Oh, okay. Yeah, of course. Gabriel wants us to check out Malia Getty. That
Could
makes
you
sense.
see what you can find out about a woman named Malia Getty?
The name Getty sounds familiar. What's your interest in her?
Oh, just, stuff about the voodoo murders. If you could get an address...
They're murders. Right. I'll see what I can find out. Anything else?
I can't think of anything.
Okay.
Do you have messages for me?
Nope. None right now.
Okay, so...
Well,
Oh,
it's about closing time.
So it is. Good night, Gracie.
Good night, Gabriel. And try not to dream, okay?
and that Grace is going home, and that closes the first day of Gabriel Knight. Let's see what's happening now. We're gonna have another dream. Oh, we're still having this dream. We're burning this woman at the stake. She turns into a big cat, and it's this St. George. It's a St. George thing, because St. George is the lion and the snake. And this is St. George's books. So, and snake and dragon. That's kind of a connection there. Blah 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 blah. And then being hung. And then the game's gonna start us on day 2. Day 2. And I mask a war as I didn't get a chance to read the whole thing. Well then, this game is zipping along. We need to change the cycles, I think, is the problem there. There's a problem with DOSBox's modern PC
Good
games.
morning. Don't you look swell today? Actually, swollen.
Oh.
So have some. There's a fresh pot on the table. Seriously, you look like hell. Your hair is sticking straight up like a... Oh, it always does that. Never mind.
Ha ha.
Did you dream about the fire and the hang guy and that lion thing last night?
Leopard, not lion. Did you get anything on Malia Getty?
Well, I did get her address, but you're a little out of your league here, big fella. The Gettys own 3 local hospitals, just to name a few of their assets. They run in very high circles.
Did you get an address?
I got the address. I suppose this has nothing to do with the fact that Malia Getty is incredibly gorgeous. I should have known you wouldn't go for a rich, ugly socialite.
And that address is...
Hey! Far be it from me to postpone your total humiliation. It's 557 West England. That's the Garden District, a state city.
That's all I wanted to know. And yes, my dear, Malia Getty is the most dangerous-looking diversion I've ever seen. Ouch!
Oy, men.
And so with that, we'll pick up next time with day 2 as Gabriel Knight continues to his lecherous investigations into the beautiful and enigmatic Malia Getty. And who knows what else we're going to get up to while we research these voodoo murders. But until next time, I hope you had a wonderful experience with revisiting this with me. We will continue on every Tuesday. Sorry, this one came out late, but we had some technical difficulties. Still, until then, take care, be well. And if you like this videos, like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend, boost the algorithm. That really helps out, and I appreciate all of you for watching. Thank you, and bye.